Hey everyone, Brendan the Blind Guy here. Now it's time to wake up because I've got another miracle for you. And it feels like forever since I've got to speak to a metalcore band of this caliber. And I am so glad to say that, oh yeah, it feels like actually before the troubled waters of the pandemic, where it
Yep.
would have left all of us probably asking each other, will you still be there at the end of it all? But I am so glad to say that these guys right here are never giving up and will never be unbreakable and will never be obsolete because it's time to put your war paint on for Aaron from US metalcore band of Mice and Men. How are you, Aaron?
I am good, and that was impeccable, by the way. I
Oh,
couldn't
thank you
have
so much.
strung so I could not have strung those song titles together as immaculately as you just did. That was
Uh,
fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. I do love my intros. So, awesome. Okay, well, exciting times because in May next year, I mean, it's next year is creeping up very closely, so I'm sure it will roll around very quickly, even though it's May, a whole 6 months away. But you guys are coming out to Australia yet again for the release of your upcoming album, Another Miracle, released on the 14th of November, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And you're also bringing with you a Japan metalcore band, Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
So you're pretty keen for this tour, like I'm sure the fans are?
Oh, I'm so stoked. I personally love touring Australia. I mean, we all do. Like, you can ask
Yeah.
any of us in the band. Like, Australia is one of our favorite places to play in the entire world. Crystal Lake is such a sick band, and we're so stoked to have them on the show, and it's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Very nice. So, how did the connection with Crystal Lake come up? Because I've noticed in recent years, I've been noticing a few more Japanese metal bands come out of the woodwork and become, good international touring bands. So how did
Yeah.
that connection come about?
We've been wanting to tour with Crystal Lake for a while. And then when you're talking about trying to get two bands that are literally located on opposite ends of the planet, trying to get schedules to line up and trying to figure out when to make that work. It's awesome when it does, when it comes together, and we're just really, really pumped.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, um I was reading that apparently you guys have got personal invites from some incredible bands like my all-time favorite band, Linkin Park, as well as Metallica and Slipknot invites to tour with them personally. So, like, I know you guys are incredible live, and of course your fans also do, but so for people that are pretty new to you or haven't witnessed one of your shows before, so what would you say um stands you guys out from, what stands you guys apart from the rest of the metalcore band and like makes your shows so memorable that these incredible bands would personally invite you to tour and it kind of keeps your fans coming back for more and more? What makes you so
Hmm.
special?
To be honest, I don't know, and I'm just always really, really happy to be here. I don't really think that I have a good answer for that. I would say one, without speaking on what other bands do or don't do, I do know what we do is we put the audience first and foremost when we're performing live, with regards to just how much preparation and effort and just goes into ensuring that we can bring a quality show to people. And then I think the biggest thing that we have going for us is, I'd say, maybe our authenticity, which is such a weird answer. It's just like most people are
No, no, no.
most people are authentically themselves, I think, but like
Yeah.
live, um,
It's where
I've
your true colors shine as authentically as possible. I get what you mean. Yeah.
absolutely, I also say, the way that have always treated my like role as a front person, like a front man, quote unquote, of a band, is that it's not at all about me. I am just the person with the microphone, and my responsibility live is that I am leading us all in song, but that the importance is not on me. The importance is on all of us singing together. I just happen to be the one with the microphone that's the loudest. But in
Yeah.
reality, when we're playing live, we are all there to experience the music together, you know? So it's like I'm just leading people in song. I don't even really think about it as like I'm performing for people. It's like I am performing music, but I'm just leading everybody in song, you know? So it's more just like band leader,
Yeah.
choir director than like performer, you know? At least that's the way I've always treated it. And I think that maybe
Yeah.
that to the audience that allows for a more substantial connection than just feeling like um there's a disconnect between somebody being on a stage and singing down to me and that seeming like a pedestal where it's like I don't treat it like that at all.
Yeah.
So
Very nice.
maybe that just affords us, maybe because we don't try and elevate ourselves to a certain degree, that keeps us eye level with our audience, and so there's definitely a mutual respect there, I think.
Yeah, that is so cool. It's funny. I just thought of the kind of analogy that you're you're kind of like a horse rider where you're steering the horse, so you're steering the show. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's the horse that's running.
Oh,
So
truly. Yeah. And in that analogy, I would say that the fans are the horse. You know, they are
yeah,
the ones that take songs that we make and they're the ones that make them streamed millions of times. They are the ones that say this means something to me. They are the ones that say this is, you know, art that has moved me or not. It's like, yeah, and you're very correct in that it is, and it's really, really easy, I think, for the horse rider, if they lose perspective, to just start getting it into their head. Oh, I'm so great, I'm so great, and it's like, no, like in reality, like you could put a number of riders on a great horse, and a great horse will be able to move it. And it's like in reality, there is no stronger entity in live music than the audience. You know.
yeah, that is yeah, awesome. So with your shows, connecting with the audience and everything, do you like to kind of, jump in the crowd and connect and kind of hang around to, because I know with, like a full international touring schedule and, being on the grind of like, okay, I got to pack up, go to the next show and everything. So it's like, it's exhausting and it must be so rushed and everything. But like, are you guys one of those bands that really, tries to make a point of sticking around to shake people's hands and get a photo and everything? Or, do you,
Oh, we
or is it,
definitely do. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We're definitely like when we can, and when it's like when safety,
when
if
it's
not just
possible?
yeah, yeah. When it's like when our safety and also the fan safety, when that's like when that can be insured, and when time permits, it's like, yeah, there's no better feeling than being amongst your tribe of people. And for us, when we express ourselves in music and somebody goes, hey, I speak that language, it's like you found your tribe, and there's
Yeah,
no better feeling in the world, to be honest. And then also at the same time, um, you know, our hope would also be that our audience leaves feeling so empowered from the show that if for some reason we didn't get the opportunity to meet, that they wouldn't feel like they missed out, like that we gave them
yeah.
ourselves when we were up there. Because oftentimes, especially in Australia, like we're going back to the hotel at like 1 in the morning, and then we're getting in the lobby of that same hotel at 5 in the morning to get on a plane and fly to the next city. And we do that for a week straight. So it's like there
Oh,
often isn't time to talk to people, but
yeah,
our fans in Oz can leave feeling like we gave our all, that they wouldn't need the photo if they couldn't get it, if that makes sense or not, that
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
they wouldn't feel like like it was a cheapened, I guess, at all. Like we
Yeah,
try and give so much of ourselves on the stage that if in fact we can't do that, that there doesn't, nobody feels cheated, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely get that. It's like, yeah, if you can really connect with your audience during the show, you feel like you've made a friendship, even if you didn't say, "Hey, my name is such and such, and how are you?"
Yeah,
Just that
totally.
connection, you feel like even if you're on the other side of the world, you feel like it's just, a distant friend on the other side of the world. Yeah, so I
Totally,
completely get what
totally.
you mean.
And also
That's
there's also, I feel like I definitely have a sensitivity to feeling like I've never been super good at like taking compliments and things like that. And I would hate for somebody to feel like if they thought I was exceptional at something, that that meant that they couldn't relate to me. Because if they think I'm special and then they think that they're not special, it's like that's shitty. And because I know me and I know I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm not any more than anybody else
I
are, because
beg to
we all
differ,
are
but
truly, but
we all
yeah,
shine in
it's
our own rights. Yeah.
100%. And I also think it's just about like not not sniffing your farts so often that you forget they stink. You know what I mean? It's
That
like
is an
it's a
amazing
it's a real
analogy.
big
Yeah.
thing. It's a big thing that happens, I think, to a lot of people that end up getting some sort of audience. But it's like I am eternally a fan first, and like
Yeah.
I was a fan when I realized, oh, I think I want to do this. And it's like I'm still a fan. And assuming I never made another song again, I would still be a fan. So it's like that's me. And when I look
Yeah.
out at the audience, I'm looking out at myself. So it's like, how dare I think I'm better than me? That's illogical.
Yeah.
We're all the same, and we're all there to, um, yeah, just share a moment.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. It's such an awesome, perspective to have on things.
I think so. And I think
Yeah.
truthfully, it's the easiest to maintain because it's not propped up with like a cognitive construct of like rules and operations and things. It's like this is just kind of who we are as people, and this is how we express ourselves. And it's like the most simplistic operating manual because it's like you don't have to really remember anything. You just know how you feel, and
Yeah.
sort of we let that be the guiding light in the studio and then also live.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned the studio because I'm itching to ask you about your upcoming album, Another Miracle. So, is this your ninth album coming up, or
Ninth.
is it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Almost to double digits.
yeah, that's incredible. So, uh, how would you say your songwriting first sonically has kind of evolved? Like, I know it's been said in press releases and, when I was doing research on you guys that, and, anyone with ears that's checked out your music can tell that over the years, you guys have added more kind of like new metal, alternative and, melodic aspects to the metalcore and, hardcore kind of genre that established you guys. So how would you say Another Miracle has kind of evolved sonically?
I think definitely the sonics from the records, they evolve. Probably, I'd say a third of the evolution is directly tied to whatever technology is getting released. And because we're all nerds and we're always at the forefront of
Yeah.
wanting to try the new stuff. So it's actually funny. You can go back through, if you were ever intrigued, you can go back through records in the 80s and you can basically, people who know their synthesizers and keyboards can tell you exactly when a song was made because everyone was always trying to use the new keyboard with the new sounds. So it's some of the evolution evolves from just new technology.
Hmm.
I'd say that's about a third of it. I'd say a third of it is us wanting to distill what we feel like is our sound down to a more potent, um, condensed mix, and then try and create a new song with that. And I think that probably accounts for a third of the evolution, is just wanting to distill what we think we already know down. And then I'd say the final third is, the more albums that we do and the more songs that we amass in our catalog, the less it the more it becomes about what do we want to do and not what we feel like we haven't done yet, which is those two things seem like they can be interchangeable, but at the kind of myopic level they're a little bit different, when you look at like what does this record need versus like what haven't we done yet. It's like those sound like the same question, but they're not, when you really like kind of get super close into it. And for us, I think being on our ninth album, there's a little bit more of a disregard as to whether or not it has to be anything, meaning it doesn't have to be the next big song. It doesn't have to be the fan favorite. It doesn't have to be defined as anything other than this piece of art that we've made. And I think the more and more songs you have and the more, I say see success, but that's just connecting with your fans, really. The more that people connect with it, the more we, I guess, feel fearless probably isn't the right word, because it implies that there would be a fear of failure or rejection or something, but it's just, and risk wouldn't be the right word either, but it's maybe the closest word. Like we feel like we're able to take more risks, Worst case scenario, if they don't like the song, there's 100 other ones on 8 other albums, So I think, and then ultimately, fractionally in there, the decimal points that you don't, I'd say it's just about us selfishly wanting to hear the things that we want to hear as fans and as musicians. So it's like, the first couple albums, you're sort of just doing your own thing. And then the next few albums after that, you're like, well, this is what I do and what they know me from. And this is my favorite band and what I love from my favorite band. And I'm going to see if I can just sneak that in there so that when I'm playing these songs, I can enjoy those moments for me. And then those fans go, oh, where's this come from? And you get to share a little bit of your legacy as a fan, by perpetuating the things that you loved in other people's music that inspired you. So there's that too.
Oh, awesome. Awesome stuff. So what about lyrically? Like, so I know obviously, so life goes on and you have different experiences as you get older and have different, life experiences and everything. So what are some of the lyrical stories on, this album?
It's really funny. I realized this as I started to do press and interviews, because and I say this like fully knowing that it could kind of like ruin the magic for some people, but it's like we often don't know what we make until we get, as artists, we get to sit with our work and like figure out what it means, because a lot of it's stream of consciousness, a lot of it's just sort of following the rabbit down the hole. And then at some point you stop and you go, okay, where am I actually? What was the rabbit? What was the hole? Like, what does this mean? Somebody's going to ask me what this means, and I don't even know. And now I get to discover what it means. And that's another joy where I feel like perhaps a lot of other artists are afraid that would diminish them or ruin some of the magic. But it's like, I feel like truthfully, most artists don't know what they've made unless they sought out to make something, which then means it's contrived in its nature. If you're just following your instincts and creating something, it's more of an abstract painting, and you don't really know what you painted, and you definitely don't know what you're going to call it until you get some time to sit and reflect on it. It's one of the most rewarding things about music, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I completely get like you just put e exact words to because I'm a songwriter myself. Like I play the piano and sing, and so like when you know, 'cause for me, it's generally always the music that's written first, and so I'll just
Always.
be jamming on the piano, and I'll be like, oh, okay, so I've written this and I've performed this kind of how does that make me feel and what is that like what am I feeling at the time? Like what was
Yeah.
I yeah, and then it's like, okay, well, this is kind of where my head was at and yeah, so I completely get what you mean of like discovering your own song. It's the song that does the writing and you kind of learn the song and discover it. So
Oh, totally.
I completely
And I
get what
would
you're
and I
saying.
would I would posit this question to you, and this is some food for thought that you can sit and
Yeah.
chew on later. But as a songwriter, you know exactly what it's like to sit down and to start working and you hear the song in your head, right?
Yep.
You're the observer and the listener. How could you be the observer and the listener while also being the creator?
Exactly.
I don't think we are,
Yeah.
truthfully, and that's why I don't take credit for things. When people say things like, "Oh, your lyrics are incredible," and this and that, like it's really kind of them to say, and they don't have to say that. Truthfully, I hear them in my head. I hear the lines in my head, and I can sit and kind of meditate. And it's not like this, like, oh, I snap my fingers and the genie brings me a song, but it's like I don't know where they come from. I don't know where all the words come from. There's sometimes where I write stuff down and I go, holy shit, there's no way that I did that because I'm learning something from reading this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know that the observer is also the creator at the same time. And so I think there's this magical thing that happens where it's like, I'm grateful anytime I hear something in my head and I don't know where it comes from, but I know that my due diligence is to probably try and put it out in the world, you know? Let's assume the craziest thing was true and that these are coming from somewhere else. It's like, well, if they get sent to you, bring them here, you know? Like, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. It also makes me sound kind of insane. And I think now on the ninth record, I'm more comfortable saying that. But it's true. It's like a lot of times I don't know that I feel like I've ever written anything that I've written. I know that it comes from me, but I don't know that it's like my idea. If I witnessed it,
Yeah.
I don't know if I was the one perpetuating it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
how can the person starring in the play also be the person watching the play? It's like it doesn't make sense. So it's
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
want so I wonder if when I'm hearing songs in my head and then I work on writing them, if that's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I swear I would got so many more questions I'd love to ask you,
Oh,
but I
we've got
actually
time.
got
This is the
yeah.
last one of the day, unless you have more stuff you got to
Well,
do.
I actually got a notification that the Zoom meeting will automatically end in 10 minutes. So,
Okay.
so
So
we've
let's
got
let's
10 minutes.
pack this 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to tee up another interview sometime, I'm more than happy
I'm
to
definitely
do
down
that.
to do another one also.
Ah, sweet, because I've got so many more questions. But okay, we're gonna have to leave it with my two favorite questions, and I gave you heads up
Perfect.
before.
Yep.
So now it's time to get exclusive, Aaron. Just me and you,
Yep.
and all the viewers, of course.
Yep.
So, what would be an exclusive fun fact about yourself?
There's only a handful of people that know this. I
Yep.
have said it before, but it would be so long ago that I would wager to say nobody remembers this.
Yep.
Um, I am, in fact, a second degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Ooh.
But here's the caveat: I got my black belt when I was like 10 or 11.
Oh.
I stopped at like 11, 12. I'm
Wow.
now 37 years old. So like I'm not putting it out there that like these are things that I still have in the old tool belt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I can still throw a
You only
punch, but
look
I'm not
21 to me,
flexible
don't worry.
anymore. But that is actually a true thing.
Oh, that is epic. Well,
But if yeah, I had to stop because I
so
was so
yeah.
young. I was so young when I got my black belt that in order to keep going, I was going to have to be like 15 or something. And that would have been 3, 4, 5 years from when I was that age. So I was like, I'm just going to play guitar and skateboard instead. And now at 37, I wish I still had done Taekwondo like forever. Because just imagining what that body would be like would be pretty awesome. Because it's like I'm not flexible at all and like have a pretty bad back. And at one point I was doing the dang thing. But yeah, that's probably the a weird fact. Another weird fact is I am like deeply, deeply infatuated with chess.
Oh, I do
Not
love
very
chess
good.
myself. Yep, yep.
If you
Ah.
if you don't play or you just know how to play, but you don't play like a lot, then I'm like a master and I'm gonna smash you. But it's like if you're good at chess, I'm not very good.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. You'll smash me. Yep, you'll smash me.
No, it could go either way, but no, but it's just a lot of fun. And I like the
Yeah.
allegory that it is for life, just like thinking about how your move right now will affect your moves in the future. And it's like, it's really, really, it's a good metaphor for how to live.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's time for my absolute favorite question. That's right, people. It's what the fuck time. So, Aaron, you must have some priceless moments on your music career, and I know you've got one in mind. So, what is this priceless what the fuck moment?
I have a couple. There's one of them was it was Rock in Rio, which is a festival that we played in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And at the time, Linkin Park and Metallica were the headliners. And
Ooh.
we had done the tour with Linkin Park. When we did the tour with them, um, they had invited me to sing a song with them every night, like part of their Castle of Glass medley that they would sing. It was
Oh,
like 3, 4 songs put together.
yeah.
And so I would come up and we would do these like awesome like 3-way harmonies and we did that on the tour, the arena tour that we did with them in 2014, and this was in 2015. They invited me to come up and sing with them, and I got to introduce like my wife to Chester, and like who was like my boy. That was one of my dear friends, big bro, miss him dearly. But
Yeah.
got to introduce him. And then I got to sing with them on stage at Rock in Rio. And when we did the tour with them, there was some nights where there was like between 15 to 20,000 people in the arenas, and it was really insane. At Rock in Rio, there was 80,000 people there. And I remember at one point, most of the time when I'm singing live, I have my eyes closed. I'm not looking at anything. I'm very much just swallowed by the music, like it. And I don't know why I've always done that. Like since forever, that's my comfortable place. Is like I close my eyes and I'm just lost in the song. At one point, I remember I opened them and I saw the 80,000 people, and I looked, and I was on stage with Linkin Park singing a song, and it hit me that like, holy shit, like I'm here right now experiencing this, and like just this overwhelming level of awareness, but not just awareness. It was awareness that I was aware of what was happening. And it was this like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that was a whole kind of crazy
What the
moment. But
fuck?
it's like I
Yeah.
can still put myself in that position. I can still put myself right back there. And I can't do that for most anything in my life. Like I think it's like ADHD or something, but I have a really like, my memory is more associative than it is just like recalling. And I can put myself right back there, like photographically. It's very strange, but that's one that's very
Yeah.
special to me.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. Now, as I said, I would love to talk all day and definitely keen for a follow-up interview. But before Zoom decides to cut us off, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Oh, Brendan, absolute. The pleasure's mine. Thank you again. You take care of yourself. All right.
You too. Cheers,
All right.
mate.
Speak soon.